Let's talk about ready to love. Ooh, child, let's get into it. Um, Girl, let me just first of all, let's talk about this. I feel like this season has been extremely long and drawn out. I don't know if anybody else has felt that way, but I'm just trying to. It's I just can't recall all of these meetings happening. Please just refresh me on what season this took place on. They met the friends, okay? I think they could have met both of each other friends. Now they mean the family and this and that. And I just feel like, honestly, in real time, y'all tell me, these people probably do this show for maybe like 2 months or something. I'm like, should they really be meeting the family so soon, girl? Like, I guess, honey. The show, it's time for it. They need to be wrapping up by the end of this month for real. Like, let's go ahead and wrap up the season. Let's get to the reunion and let's move on. Because the season is dragging out. Tina's no longer a part of the journey. We already knew that when she didn't want to show up to the last time. Okay, so we're not gonna see Tina no more, girl. So peace out, honey. We'll be lucky if we see her at the reunion. All right, now Tommy lets the guys know that it's time for the ladies to go and meet the family. All right, so Demetrius wants Sabrina to meet his mom, but he wants to talk to her to see where they are before she meets his mom. I kind of gave him a side eye when he said that. I was like, we still trying to figure out where we at. I guess. Anyway, so let's get to Clifton and Joy because he did allow her to meet his uncle as well as his cousin. Okay. And Joy joined the process. Hold on, what? Oh yeah, they asked her like what made her join this process, and she said that she wanted to open up a bit more and stop hiding behind her career. I guess she was using her career as an excuse to not get closer with somebody because she's always traveling or whatever. So I don't know. I just feel like if that's how it's always been, and then now you got with Clifton in this short amount of time, like, are you really? Is that what? Are you really ready? I guess, girl. Anyway, so she says that he checked every box that she wanted. He checked every single box without her having to tell him. And a lot of times you meet a person, they ask you what kind of person you like, you tell them what kind of person you like, and then they try to do their best to fit within those parameters, right? And this time she didn't have to do that. They just meshed, they just clicked, vibe, and it just worked, right? So Joy was asked about children. How does she feel about like if something ever happened to where he had to get his kids full time? How would you feel about that? She said, I feel no ways. I feel no ways because I used to be a teacher. And I also have nieces and nephews. I feel like she answered the question, but I don't know if she answered it. I feel like a lot. I'm like, yeah, you were a teacher, but you're not a teacher now. So do you love children? How do you feel about that? Have you ever dated somebody that had kids? Some people, I feel like you got some teachers out here that's teachers, but don't really like kids for real, for real. But those are just my thoughts. Thank you so much, Daikia, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. They need to change the name to Ready to Leave because folks always leaving the show. Oh, ain't they always leaving the show, child? All right, so let's see what else. Joy talks about how she'll be leaving in a few months to head over to Mexico. So I'm guessing that's where she does her singing and things, right? So it seems like she's in America for half of the year, and then the other half she's down in Mexico. I don't think Clifton gonna be able to handle that. I don't think he's gonna be able to deal. I think he's gonna create situations within his own head as to what she's doing when she's away. And I also feel like it's gonna be an open door for him to be able to step out and cheat. The same reasons why he ended his marriages or whatever, or the same reasons that caused his marriages to end over the past times, right? Or have relationships, whatever he had. What else? Yeah, so when she ended up piecing out, of course, the family say they really like her, but they're just going to have to iron out what life is really going to look like if she's going to be away for half of the year. We'll see how that's going to work, girl. Either way. Good luck. All right, let's get to Donovan and Sabrina. Baby, Donovan came to meet up with Sabrina with a full chip on his mother's shoulder, if you hear me. Donovan had a chip on his shoulder, so they both meet up, and they seemed like they didn't want to be there. Neither one of them. It seemed like they were okay with not having this conversation, but the producers were forcing them to have some type of interaction with each other, right? So Donovan says that he doesn't like that she said he wasn't there or ready to love. I guess he wasn't there to be ready to love or whatever, but he feels like he has. And he's been taking the process very seriously, but he feels like she is the one that hasn't been taking this process very seriously. He feels like she hasn't been consistent, nor has she been honest with he nor Demetrius, okay? And I felt like maybe she has been a little bit consistent with Demetrius, though, because I'm always seeing her run up in his damn face trying to get him to see her. see me, be with me. We need to start giving each other more time. So maybe she has been consistent in that matter, right? So Sabrina says that she was just exploring both connections. Donovan says that he never told her that Demetrius, she said, so you don't think that me and Demetrius have a connection or whatever? He said, I never said that y'all did it. I'm just telling you that you haven't been consistent, nor have you been honest, right? What else? And I also feel like Donovan, just focus on yourself. You ain't even got to bring Demetrius into it. However that dynamic is between them, that's on Demetrius and how he experiences it. You could just focus on your part of the relationship with the connection that you have with Miss Sabrina. So Sabrina says that he told her that Sabrina says that Donovan told her that pretty much he was giving her an ultimatum between Demetrius and him. And I think that was something that bothered her. I don't recall him giving her an ultimatum. Maybe that happened at another time. I don't know, but that's what she says. Sabrina says these men are so bothered by her having options. I don't know if it's that they bothered that you got options. I feel like everybody at this point on the show have options. I think that you may be more of an option for somebody else. I think out of the options, you may be like a number one, right? Because everybody, y'all were brought on the show to be able to have options. So I don't think they're bothered by you having options at hell, especially not Demetrius. Demetrius high key don't give a damn. Okay. It was just Tori and maybe Donovan having an issue. But again, I don't think they were bothered by you having options. I think they just wanted to see like where they are with you. And if you feel like they are a good option and you have a strong connection, then why is it that when we get here, I feel like it's about as similar as Clifton and Joy and Daikia, right? So Clifton could have been telling Daikia something completely different on the phone. But then when they get there, what does Daikia see? She sees his energy going more towards Joy, right? So I think Donovan could have been in the same place. Like, okay, we talk, we this and that, I'm feeling you. I want to see what we can really do. I was hoping this trip was going to define that. But it seems like you're making your decision and it's more so over there than it is over here with me, right? So, those are my thoughts, but I'm going to check in and see what you guys are thinking. What else? Yeah, so I also just feel like she enjoys being chased. She's already said that. She just loves when a man run up behind her. I think she probably gets a kick out of how Donovan is feeling and taking this entire situation. Let's keep going. Daikia and Paul. Paul says that Carmen tried to spin the conversation that he had with her about the type of woman that he liked. And because she has this issue directly with Daikia, she wanted to put her in the midst of that. And I'm like, hi, Key Paul, both of y'all full of shit. Okay? You and Carmen are bogus as fuck. All right? I think you could have definitely said some slick stuff about Daikia 1000%. But I feel like Carmen was being messy as hell in that moment. Definitely to take a dig at you, and of course to take a dig at Daikia so she can know she's not that girl for whatever reason. Right? So then Paul says that he's no longer interested in Carmen because Daikia was like, well, baby, what's up? What's tea? Let me know. Because if this is the type of woman that you're interested in, still after she did what she did, then I may need to reevaluate some things going on with me. All right? So Paul says that he needs a Daikia in his life. God, I don't believe this mother. I don't believe this man. And then gonna invite her to meet his family. I was with nephew Tommy when he was like, why the hell y'all starting to make a connection now? This ain't even adding up. I don't. Let's get to Carmen and Donovan. Cringing. His mom asked her how she shows her son values and morals. She went all around before she got to that answer because she really didn't have one. And her main thing was that she just wanted him to understand that people have different type of lives or live different lifestyles or something. I'm like, all right. But then the mama decided to say, oh, I see you can't answer that question. So let me ask you this. It's always been you and your son? Yeah, that's how it's been with us. So they made a connection on being single moms and the dads being absent. So much so that it resulted in Donovan actually tearing up because his dad wasn't there or present in his life. Then when all was said and done, the mama, at some point in the beginning, I feel like mama was doing too much, but I was like, maybe that's Miss Mama's personality or whatever like that. And once it's all over, he goes over, gives Miss Carmen a kiss on the lips that we really didn't have to see, and then sends her on her way. And then the mama is like, oh, I really like her. I really, really like her. Don't you let her go. Don't you let her go. Like, keep her around. I was like, bye, mama. Bye, mama. Okay. Carmen the chameleon. Huh? I don't think no one is going home together. I don't know what's going on with Sabrina. Listen to me. I agree. Vanessa put them somewhere and make them sort it all out together. Oh, you're saying you were agreeing with what somebody in the chat. Got you. Okay. I'm tired of people leaving. I feel like the show is going downhill. I liked it when they all stayed at the resort the entire season. We're going to talk about it. I'm sorry, but how is Demetrius mad Sabrina has other interests when he never really pursued her or showed real efforts? And I don't know why he mad. He shouldn't be mad. Are you talking about Demetrius or Donovan? Because I see Donovan feeling away more than I see Demetrius really feeling away. He damn sure never really pursued Miss Girl. And she's just running up behind him. Sabrina never narrowed down her options. That's what folks were annoyed by. They was eating her up on Twitter for sure, and I definitely was over there retweeting everyone that I found. But let's keep going. Demetrius, let's get to Demetrius and Sabrina. So they speak on the power dynamics because what's still bothering her is the word submissive, okay? They throw that word around so much, girl. Probably about as much as they throw around the word narcissist. But anyway, so they speak on the power dynamics. And he doesn't like that she told Tommy that he wants a submissive woman. Well, she only telling what your friend said. That's what your friend said, okay? Now, he says that he disagreed with that, and he told her that that's not what it is that he wanted. Then we get into this conversation play where Sabrina is over here like, oh, well, that's what I consider to be submissive. Oh, and when you said this, and it's like, girl, something about her bothers the hell out of me. She says he wants a woman to move and shake the way that he does. I can see that. I can see that. I can see him wanting somebody to move how he moves. If he don't want to be all up on you, he wants you to not be all up on him too. I could definitely see that because it's going to make it easier for him. What else? She also talked about a woman giving a man, a woman taking a man's last name. She considers that to be submissive. And he just felt like, I thought that was natural because that's how it's always been. And I felt like they both had a point, not a point as far as that being submissive, but a point as in that's the norm. When a man marries a woman, we've seen that with Love and Marriage Huntsville when LeBerry got upset with Destiny. They want you to be able to take on that name. A lot of times when I see a woman not take on that name, a lot of times primarily is when the woman is established in her career, like, likely well known. But I've also had a soror that's been married more than one time and she ain't never changed her name. You know what I'm saying? So I understood where Sabrina was coming from too. Like, yeah, that may be the common thing, but it does not have to be like the final thing. It doesn't have to, like, me having your last name or not is not going to take away from me knowing that I'm married to this man right here. Right. So I don't think that's submissive to me. I do not, but I understood where she was coming from and where he was coming from. What else? He feels like that's a non-negotiable when it comes to changing last names and stuff like that. And I did feel like in that moment, like, I don't know if they're going to be together. We're going to see. What else? He said he asked her, like, I want you to meet my family. My family's in town. I would love for you to meet them or whatever. Sabrina shuts that down real quick and says, listen, I'm only open to that if we're in a place where I feel like we're strong. Okay. And I don't feel like we're in a strong place. So that's not something that I want to do. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that one at all for her to turn this man down, not meet his family. Oh, yeah. We'll get to the reasons why a little later, girl. But I just felt like that was yeah. I was never vibing with Sabrina's energy, okay? You ain't the only one that felt the way about her. Sabrina ended up being a clown in the end. Hear what I say? Sabrina seems like she's just coming up with a problem. Agreed. And that's what I started to notice episode before last, I think it was. And I was saying, like, okay, you had the friction with Tori. Then you turn around and you creating the issue with Demetrius. And see, that's what's weird because people want to talk about options and she's doing right by the process and guys do it all the time. Everybody got options on the show, okay? Duh. Everybody on the show got options. But what's weird to me is her actions and how she moves, right? Especially like with Demetrius. Like, girl, what you try? Like, I'm confused. Like, stop running after him when you have other people that's willing to give you the energy that you say that you want. But then when it comes down to those very people, you sit up here and say, oh, I don't think they're ready because they're fresh out of a marriage. Ma'am, you just said that you was fresh out of one too. So she would do things for me that was just like contradicting. And I'm just like, I'm watching you, girl, because I don't know. I don't know about you, Sabrina. Okay, Laverna cussed you out about some stuff that you said. And every time somebody say that Sabrina said so, Sabrina like, oh, me? She gives you the Paul face. I didn't say that. Okay, now granted, when Donovan said on last week that she said something slick, I was like, I don't believe that she said that. But as I look back, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she did. Like, I just don't damn know. I don't know. All right, so let's see what else. Daikia and Paul, she met his brother. She decides to brag on herself. Daikia definitely has it going on. She says that she isn't looking for love. When her brother asked her why she looking, she said, I'm not looking, but I am open to it. I said, yes, ma'am. Correct him very quickly. Right? He asked her, how does she feel about her man leading? She said, I lead all the time in the arenas that I'm in as far as work and stuff. She said, but when I come home, I don't want that. I want him to be able to take the lead on some stuff. I know that's right. Period. Okay. So there's that. Now let's get to Tommy and the guys. Okay. Hold on, what? Oh, Sabrina played too many games. She had connections, and now she ended up with no. Exactly. Girl, just out here playing with the people. Boy, I see right through him. Demetrius wants exactly what his friend said. He just trying to sugarcoat submissive because he knows how it sounds. That's a good point. I can see that too. That's a good point. And she only could say what your friend said that it was that you wanted. But you know, hey. Tommy meets with the guys. Thank you so much, Summer, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Sabrina's head being so close to her shoulder pads bothers me. Oh my, I didn't even catch it. Oh wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Summer. So Tommy meets with the guys, and Tommy wants to know why Paul has now made such a connection with Daikia. Paul says Daikia is straightforward, and the other ladies were. Tommy said, oh, they weren't? He said, no, they were. He was like, well, why now? He says, it just seemed like, the timing. It was the timing that was off. We couldn't see each other. Baby, bye. I can't. I'm not buying it. Paul trying to make it to the end. I wish producers would step in and be like realistic on some, y'all, you playing with people's time. Okay, stop playing. Y'all ain't got no real connection. Not this late in the game, okay? Donovan spoke on Sabrina and how she wasn't willing to make a decision between he and I guess Demetrius or whatnot, right? Not willing to zone in. And it's sad because when you think about Carmen, he only really chose Carmen because he couldn't have Sabrina. But let's keep in mind, he only chose Carmen also because Tina never showed up. So would that mean third place? Oh. Because it seems like he still was holding out hope for Tina. Even though he was getting to know Carmen, if Tina would have showed up and actually when she did show up, had more of an explanation and showed like she wanted to be in this process, I think he would have chose her over Carmen for sure. I do. He did. Like, why you always lying? Come on. Right? So, what else happened? Demetrius speaks on Sabrina not wanting to meet his family. Tommy sounds like he wants him to let her go in so many words because it sounded like Tommy told him to link up with her again. He was like, I don't know, because if we get to a place where it's like, I'm ready for you to meet my family and you ain't trying to meet my family, then what is we really over here doing? So you should really have another conversation with her. And I'm like, Tommy, why we got to keep having conversations? Like what we need to talk about. Like I feel like she said what she needed to say when they sat down earlier. And Miss Girl said that she don't feel like they're at that place yet. All right, so there's that. Maybe he did need the clarity because maybe she had him in the gray area, even though she felt like, oh, we're not at that place. But maybe, like he said, even though he accepted what she was talking about, he still was open to like moving forward to seeing where things go. But I'm going to tell y'all, Sabrina pissed me off, but let's keep going. So Demetrius gets ready to have this sit down with Miss Sabrina. So he pulls up and he's like, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to talk to you about the things earlier. I know you didn't want to meet my family. Sabrina immediately jumps into the conversation. And I can't remember what he said verbatim, but for me, it let me know that Sabrina thought that she was going to be getting sent home. And because she thought that she was about to be getting sent home, she decided to jump in front of him and give her full explanation and then end it the way that she did, because she is a woman that does not, I feel, knows how to accept rejection very well. And there are a lot of women out there like that. But I feel like she don't know how to accept that well, which is why she loves for men to chase her. right? And why she gave him so many chances trying to like, hey, see me, like we should focus on each other. We should do this, we should do that. And then when it's time for y'all to do that, you moving in the opposite direction. Like that's not clicking, Steven. That's not, you want him to show you more affection, but then when it's time for y'all to, he hugging up on you in the pool, you gave him a kiss so willingly the other time. Now you don't want to kiss him. Like, I'm just like, I'll do it on my own time. You did do it on your own time a long time ago. So what is the issue now? Like, not making no damn sense. And people rezone it down to, oh, well, she got options. You know, she's doing what the other guys do. Girl, bye. No, ma'am. What else? So she jumps in front of the conversation because she wanted to say what was on her mind first and close it out. If you paid attention, she gave him no room to say anything. And even if he wanted her to be just a little bit of submissive or a little bit or have a little bit of compromise or whatever in her, I feel like the way that conversation flowed was enough to say, you're going to have a hard ass time with this woman. If you never paid attention any time before, you're going to have a hard ass time with her. So she says that they have a disconnect. First of all, she says, well, here's the thing. When it comes to meeting families, when my dad doesn't meet any men that are boyfriends, okay? Unless we're on that verge of like, hey, Dad, we're about to get married. I said, bitch, your mother and lie. I do not believe that. And at this point, your dad should be open considering the fact that you already got a failed marriage, okay? Or whatever, like you're divorced, girl. So what did your daddy meeting the man when y'all was ready to get married really do? Like, what? I'm going to want to know who's around here dating my child. Don't tell me at no end when y'all about to get married. Like, what kind of shit is that? No, I need to know what's going on ahead of time. Who is this? How are you? You know what I'm saying? And you want to come to the people with some bogus shit, talking about somebody dad only meets people. First of all, you grown as fuck. You grown as fuck, to be real honest with you. You know, and my dad, he only meets people when we're on the verge, you know, of getting married. What kind of shit is that? Girl, we is in 2022. What is you talking about? Girl, you not no damn 20-some-year-old or whatever. Like, girl, bye. I'm not, ooh, that woman, no, she pissed me off. And then gonna say, first of all, in all caps, I said, Sabrina full of shit, period. All right, so then, and Demetrius is too, okay? Put that in caps too, both of y'all full of shit. Especially because I'm not off your ass, Demetrius, from what you said last week, because she's entertaining other people when this is a process where everybody's going to have options. And you want to say you don't want to show her your full self or give her more of you until you know that it's only about you. But she already came to you and told you that that's what it is that she wanted. So you ain't saved by the bell at all. Okay, y'all both clowns, right? So then anyway, she rushed to speak before him. And what else? She rushed to speak before him and not wanting to be the one to be rejected, but wanting to be the one to do the rejecting. Okay. She also decided that she was going to remove herself because I felt that she was going to be eliminated. And then in that moment, she wanted to say whatever it was that she said. I just think that, you know, we're not good for each other. And we're this and that. And I think I want to remove myself from this process and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop and la, 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 la. And I feel like for me, if that's what she wants to do, I feel like that's okay. Right? That's okay if you feel like Demetrius really ain't that dude, but it makes her look foolish when we've seen you on so many different occasions trying to get his attention, and with every other guy your focus always went back to Demetrius as if that's who it is that you're wanting, only for you to get to this place and decide that you're about to end it on your own because you felt like you were about to be eliminated. But if he ain't here, that's fine. If he ain't here, cool. But it was something about that sit down, and I'm just like, bitch, if you didn't want to be eliminated, you didn't want to be the one being rejected. You wanted to give the rejecting, then just say that. Okay. What else? But I do feel like this. All y'all Sabrina people, y'all go ahead and sit down and figure out whatever you can figure out. Come up with other ways you can come up with to try and defend y'all girl. Okay, while the rest of America sitting up here waiting. So y'all go ahead and come up with whatever your excuse is gonna be to defend your girl, honey. Okay, because no, that don't, again, it don't take away from Demetrius being whack himself, but we calling out your girl. Okay, so she could be telling the truth, because for some people culturally that is the standard, but she knows that's part of the show, so that part is confusing as to why she decided to be on the show. Correct. So why be on the show if your daddy don't want to meet nobody until a later time? I don't believe that, y'all. I don't give a damn what's culturally or what's going on cultural. I don't. Ma'am, this woman has already been married. So you mean to tell me every time you have a failed marriage, your daddy gonna wait until that time when you about to get married to somebody else before he meet him? Ooh, helps. Yikes. I guess, girl. Either way. Good luck. Good luck. Let's see. Watching this show can be exhausting. I gave this season a try, and the games these people play is exhausting. Me coming back next season will be based off of your review. Why? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully it's good. You know, they're supposed to be going to Miami this round, so we'll see what it is that Miami gonna get of people. We'll see. Demetrius looked like he had to retrain himself or refrain himself from having a moment with Sabrina BS. He grabbed that drink and gave her a look. Yeah, she threw him for a loop. He wasn't expecting that. I'm just shocked that PO made it this far. Tommy always be forcing these connections, which is kind of cringy. It be these producers forcing these connections, child. I can't. One thing I noticed her demeanor changed when his best friend met her, and he said that he wants someone submissive. And that's what's weird to me, and I'm so glad you pointed that out, Omar. Yes, the demeanor changed. But with that being said, why go to him at the house when everybody was hanging out and say, I want us to focus on each other? You know, a lot of times after she done turned down Tori or whatever, a lot of times, you know, we've been focusing on those people and those people. And I want to see what it's going to be like when we just focus on each other. Like, let's just focus on each other. Let's give each other affection and touchy-feely and all of that. Knowing the whole time this man wanted a woman that's submissive. Help America. Help them. Help them. But girl, they was dragging this girl on Twitter and I was here cackling. Cackling. I was cackling, bro. I was. I was cackling. You were wrong. But it's weird because at the same time, I do feel like if your dude's not there, he just not there. I think what bothers me the ultimate most is how she tried to finish the last conversation out of fear of thinking that she was going to be sent home. I could see if she would have allowed him to talk, have his say what he's going to say. And then she said, well, you know what? I appreciate you coming to me and talking to me about that, but I had some time to really think. And, you know, based on this process, like, I just don't think that we would actually mesh that way. But for her to jump into the conversation immediately, I said, girl, bye. I mean, a lot of people don't like rejection, right? But I feel like that's what comes with this show when you sign up for it. So you didn't want to be rejected. And that's one of the reasons for me that makes so much sense as to why you continue to run after Demetrius, because all of the other guys were willingly giving you their attention. Everybody want what they seem that like they can't seem to have, right? Everybody else was willingly giving you their attention. So you running up behind Demetrius trying to get him to see you because you don't like to feel that lack of interest or that rejection. That's what it was given for me. So I guess, girl, these people are 6 seasons in, know the format of the show. They need better casting and production. They don't need to have extra drama with these personalities. Dating is drama enough. Sabrina really wanted Donovan and was just stringing the others along. When Donovan moved on, she decided to cut it. And you know what? Now that I think about it even more, because she is a woman that enjoys a chase and wants to see guys kind of tussle and bustle over her, she thought Donovan was going to probably give her a lot of that energy, seeing that she over there trying to feed Demetrius and sitting next to Demetrius and trying to get Demetrius to talk to her. She probably wanted a different reaction from Donovan, but it ended up going left. She didn't get that. Child, messy. But either way, good luck.